When scheduling a sales call, how many times have you had the client tell you, "Yeah, that time should work. Oh yeah, yeah, that should work. Yeah, that we can make that work." When I hear that, I hear a lot of uncertainty. I hear I'm probably going to miss the appointment. I'm probably going to reschedule. I'm probably not nearly as engaged as I need to be because I didn't want to take 30 seconds to check my calendar and make sure that it works. Let's talk about how we can tie your client down to sticking to the appointment. But more importantly, what can we do on the front end to ensure that they want to be at the appointment and they make it top priority? Depending on your sales process, there can be one of two things that are happening. You're either spending very little time, maybe on a triage call, which essentially is calling, gathering some basic information, and then scheduling an appointment to close. Or you might be starting into the close and realizing the client's out and about driving because we didn't cover that when we set the appointment. Maybe they're at dinner with a family member and you can hear all the noise and the noise the music in the background, right? Some of the things that we need to be considerate of is if we don't protect our schedule, hitting those targets of 50, 100 plus $1,000 months is going to be very difficult because we're going to be stuck in the sales seat way too long with unqualified clients or clients that aren't respecting our schedule because we didn't make them do so. One of the ways we can do that is when we have the conversation, and I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos, go deep enough into discovery to fully understand their problem, right? But we call it the bone marrow approach. So go bone marrow deep to understand exactly what their problem is, not just their pain point of why they're not making enough money, not just their pain point of why they're not in shape, not just their pain point of they don't know how to put these real estate deals together or their contracting business is failing and they don't know how to hire, they're sick of the revolving door in their e-commerce company, whatever it is. Get to the bottom of all of it. So it's like, look, Bob, I feel like we've got a pretty good idea of where you're at. Um, Let me ask you something. Would it make sense for us to go ahead and schedule another appointment to determine whether or not me and my team are willing to bring you on and can truly help you? When we decide that that is the case, and we want to go ahead and schedule that appointment, it's like, hey, Bob, we work by appointment only, and I don't want this to come across wrong, but we won't take reschedules. So if we were to go ahead and book a time at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to need about an hour and a half. I need you home in front of your computer, free from distractions, notepad and pen, and somewhere comfortable. Do you see any reason why that wouldn't work? Notice what I'm doing here. I'm framing all of the things that could potentially happen and getting his take on it. I'm not just telling him, "Hey, I don't take reschedules. You can't miss your appointment. I won't do it again." Okay, okay. There's no validity in that. Like, hey, Bob. So let me just ask you something. Is there any reason whatsoever you wouldn't be able to make that 3:30 appointment? If there is, let's certainly look at a different time when you can commit 100%. Oh no, that should work. Yeah, I'll be there. That's no problem. Okay. Well, I mean, how do you keep your appointments? And I don't want to beat you up here, Bob. What I found is that when we get to this point in the conversation, I'm going to do a lot of work on my side to prep for this call, and I want to ensure that we're able to actually spend the time together to deep dive into fully what you need and what it's going to look like if we help you. And I found that the people that don't put this in their calendar and they don't make it a priority, truthfully, they're just not an ideal client for us to work with. So kind of an odd question, Bob, but why do you suppose you'd be a good client for us to work with? Why do you feel like you're a good fit for our program? Hey, Bob, just out of curiosity, we talk to a lot of clients every week, and obviously we like to help as many of them as they can, but truthfully, this is not for everybody. Why do you feel like you're potentially a good fit for what we do here? Notice the power in not only verifying the appointment, tying the appointment down, but then also reversing the sell to where he's selling me on why he's a good fit. Okay. So is it safe to say if we did schedule the next appointment for 3:30 tomorrow afternoon that do you feel like you're at a time and place where you're actually ready to roll up your sleeves, make a decision and get something started? Out of curiosity, what would prevent you from doing so? Notice the way that I'm asking these questions is I'm highly engaged, but I'm not attached to the outcome. Hey, Bob, we don't work with everybody. It's totally okay. Where do you see there being any obstacles in us potentially working together? If we decided jointly it was a good fit and we both wanted to roll up our sleeves and commit to the process, what's going to hold you back? I hope this was helpful, you guys. If it was, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe. See you in the next one.